At the beginning of our story, we find our main leads, Richie and Anna, about to get married. Their families, the Duke family and the Marquis family, were said to be consolidated. Up on the aisle, no matter how much our female protagonist thinks about it, it seems that she has entered the popular novel I Failed to Divorce My Husband. To make things worse, she was the villainess Anna Zahard. And like most villainesses, her ending was obvious. In the original novel, there were two protagonists, Richie Leinster and Julia Schart. They fell in love with each other as if it were predestined. However, the villainess, Anna, hindered their love. Anna and Richie were married through an arrangement when they were just 10 years old. Anna consistently irritated Richie and often threatened Julia, the girl he loved. She eventually plotted to murder Julia. Like many villainesses, Anna Zahard faced execution for attempted murder. Following Anna's execution, Richie and Julia's love only deepened. The problem is that our protagonist, after an accident at age 29, finds herself inhabiting 10-year-old Anna's body. Currently, she and Richie are confined to the same room, though fortunately they have separate beds. Before the two got married, Anna even received reproductive education from her nanny. Anna decides to get along with Richie as she must see him for the next 10 years anyway. She practices smiling to make a good impression. However, she turns surprised as she sees Richie for the first time. She exclaims how handsome he is. However, Richie looks at her with disdain and walks away. Richie suggests talking, but he ignores her and gets in bed. He warns her not to touch him, pissing off Anna. She also gets in bed. However, Anna is unable to sleep. She decides to take a closer look at Richie's handsome face, at least. She is aware they are just a couple by name. When they turn 20, their relationship will get worse and worse. As for Richie, he will grow up and become the head of the most powerful family in the Empire, Duke Leinster. In the original, Anna was in love with Richie at first sight when she was only 10. It was not love, but obsession. Anna joined the swordsmanship training and injured Richie. She used to always take out her anger on people around Richie. But the elderly members of the Duke's family ignored Richie's request for divorce, even though he could not stand her anymore. He exclaimed how he was going crazy because of Anna. Anna followed every move of her husband and messed up his daily life. That made Richie want to get rid of his wife after 10 years. Presently, Anna decides to go back to her side of the bed and not wake him up. However, Richie begins to squirm in his sleep and talk. He was having a nightmare with the way he was sweating. Anna places a hand on his forehead. That made him wake up. His eyes widen in surprise as he sees her, and he quickly jolts up. He screams at Anna, telling her not to touch him or even come near him. When she is about to call the doctor, he stops her. He tells her to let him be, remarking how scary it is. At that moment, Anna realizes this is not hatred. In the original, Richie clearly showed that he hated being together with Anna. If he reacted like this, even though it was his first time meeting Anna, then she is sure something had happened to him before he got married. To live in peace for the next 10 years, Anna knows that she must take care of this child. But it will not be easy. Even the next morning, Richie ignores me and leaves the room. As Anna gets ready for the day, she plots to survive and stop bothering Richie. She plans to behave and keep saving money like this until Julia shows up. Then she can quickly divorce Richie. She could then leave the Empire and live happily in another country. That is her plan. But what worries her is the trembling figure of Richie last night. The maid tells Anna she had a scheduled brunch with the Duke and his wife today. But she heard the two left early this morning, and it seemed like there was something urgent. Knowing that it would take them half a month to return, Anna was relieved. Right now, she does not have to care about such superficial relationships with the Duke and his wife, or the ambiguous relationship with Richie. In the meantime, she decides to find out what happened to Richie Leinster. Anna soon holds a tea party for the maids. She seeks their sympathy, confessing how she is always alone here and does not know anything about her husband. With her plan in motion, the maids revealed that they did not know anything about Sir Richard either. It is because he is not someone who would talk to them. He is extremely strict and not very talkative. Anna asked them who would understand Richard, and a maid revealed that he usually practices with knights, so maybe they knew more about him. However, she remarks that no one understands Richard as much as Miss Whitney does. Whitney is his nanny, who has taken care of Richard since he was born. She even knows him better than the Duke and his wife, too. Apparently, Richard's schedule is always full, and Miss Whitney manages all of that. Anna thinks it must be right. Oftentimes, a noble child has taken care of their many since birth. Anna also came here with Mona. Therefore, she thinks it is best to investigate the nanny. The scene shifts to Richie on the training ground, sitting alone. One of the knights, Philip, asks the young prince how he feels after getting married. Richie asks Philip if he feels good after getting married, to which Philip says he does. Upon questioning, Philip reveals that he got married to his first love, so he can see that person every time he goes home, so he feels incredibly good. He says there are many cases where two people fall in love after marriage. Richie sulks, saying he is not one of those. He mutters how he is scared. On the other hand, Anna is worried as she has not seen Richie for 3 days. He does not even dine with her. She followed him everywhere in the palace, but he disappeared as soon as she got there. It feels like she is chasing after him like Anna in the original story, even though she is not. Fortunately, she bumps into him soon enough, thanks to the maid's information. Richie tries to avoid her yet again, but she grabs him by the sleeve. However, to Anna's utter shock, Richie screams, calling her dirty. This causes Anna to freeze in her place as she sees Richie trembling like a scared cat. Richie screams, saying that he told her not to touch him. Anna does nothing but remain silent while watching the hand he swatted away. Suddenly, Miss Whitney appears from behind. Richie's expression turns pale as he sees her. She grabs Richie's hand forcefully. Miss Whitney curtly asks Richie if he is tired and whether they should go back to his room. Watching their strange interaction makes Anna realize that this is it. This woman is the cause of everything. In the original novel, Richie never cared about other women except for Yulia, and even hated them. Anna thought the way Richie avoided her before she approached him was overstated by the author, but she knows everything happens for a reason. In this case, Whitney is the person who took advantage of her position as a nanny. She had always completely restrained Richie so that he would only listen to her words. She threatened him both mentally and physically, making him so obsessed and scared that he could not get help from the others. In the original, Anna had unintentionally provoked this without knowing it herself. Anna tells Whitney to let Richie go, but she refuses to do so. However, Anna quickly swats Whitney's hand away and covers Richie with a cloth. Whitney tries to lecture her, but Anna interjects, saying that what matters is that she is the young lady of the family. This puts Whitney in her place, and she apologizes. Anna then asked permission for Richie to hold his hand. He agrees, and she leads him away while Brittany watches the two. There is no one who does not know Duke Leinster. Everyone respects him and admires him. He has carried the family's honor and responsibility since his birth. As a result, the name Leinster is usually associated with respect, pride, and even wealth. However, Whitney used the name to manipulate Richie and pressure him into being his best, following what she says. Before the marriage, Whitney lectured Richie about his responsibilities, emphasizing the growing importance of the family. She cautioned him to protect the family's reputation and to be wary of the Zahard family's influence over the Leinster family. Whitney advised Richie to bring profit to his family and to be cautious of deceitful women, urging him not to trust them blindly. She told him that a man who constantly smiles at his wife cannot be a true Leinster. Although Richie found her words nonsensical, he was convinced of their importance. Consequently, he followed Whitney's advice. However, recent events have led him to reconsider his decision. That night, Anna thinks of how sweet it is that Yulia Shart is Richard's destiny, considering how they met after suffering from trauma. But she finds it a harsh reality for a 10-year-old to live in pain until then. To her, it is common sense to protect children. Therefore, Anna is determined to help Richie recover from his mental traumas before divorcing him. Anna does not worry about the progress of this story being a little different, as ultimately Yulia is Richie's destiny anyway. On the contrary, she thinks it would be better if she took good care of the boy and gave him back to Yulia. This way, Anna would not have to worry about her death. The next day, Anna goes to the training grounds. However, this time she does not approach Richie, but rather the knights. She greets them one by one while Richie watches her in confusion. Before he can join them as well, Whitney approaches from behind, reminding him that he must finish his homework. But before she can leave, Anna heads toward them, saying that Richie is talking to her. She suggests he do his homework later. However, Whitney grabs his hand, asserting that he must do it at the set time and that it is better to chat later. She tries to drag him with her, but Anna orders her to let him go and step back. She quickly pushes Whitney away from Richie, shocking them both. Whitney warns Anna that she has no choice but to report the Duke if she keeps acting like this. Anna tells her to report it, affirming that there is no reason a nanny can stop her. She then had Richie come with her. Richie silently follows her to the garden. He asked why she got out back then. He warns her that the nanny can purposefully say terrible things about her. Anna confesses that she wants to get closer to Richie. She points out that husband and wife should side with each other. She also expresses that, at the age they have gotten married, they should be close friends. She assures him that she is on his side, and he is on hers. Richie was confused. Anna seems different from what Whitney told him. He asks what friends usually do with each other. Anna watches Richie's intent expression. She explains how friends eat and play together. They cuss together, comfort each other, and laugh together too. Richie reveals that he does not know how, as he has never experienced this before. Anna leans closer, assuring him it will be fun. With that, Richie admits he wants to side with Anna. Anna's heart flutters, and she turns crimson red. That night, Anna contemplated her earlier emotions. Just looking at Richie made her quiver. But so much tension has been relieved just by asking him to be friends with her. She is sure even his enemies will want to side with him if he smiles like that. Until the divorce, Anna wants to be a better friend to Richie than anyone else can be. She plans to kick Whitney out as soon as possible. As Anna's housekeeper watches her determined expression, she asks if she wants anything or if she has any requests. Meanwhile, Richard lies awake, thinking about what married life feels like. He recalls Anna's expression and smiles, thinking about how this feeling is not so bad after all. Anna could feel things starting to change the next morning. Richard even said hello back to her. He even allowed her to watch him train at the arena. However, as they make their way there, a maid with a heavy cart suddenly bumps into Richard, and they both fall. Fearful, the maid quickly apologizes to Richie, but he continues trembling, telling her to step away. Anna remains collected. She softly asks the maid, Windy, to step away and turns her attention to the boy. Seeing Richie tremble, she felt like they were back to the first night she met him. Rather than touching him like before, she quietly sits next to him, calling out his name. She gently reminds him that they are husband and wife and that she is by his side. Therefore, everything will be okay. Richie successfully stops trembling and stares at Anna. He suggests they go together, but Anna apologizes, saying she just remembered she has work to do and promises to see his training the next time. Hearing this, Richie quietly leaves. Although Anna feels sorry for letting Richard go alone, she must handle Windy's problem before the nanny finds out. She confronts Windy and tells her to be careful from now on. The next few days, Richie trains hard with the night film. He has come to note how he has not seen Anna for some days. Phillips is observing how Richie sometimes looks out the door. Richie asks Philip if one befriends their wife. Philip sighs and replies in affirmation. He says he did it because his wife is his first love and his childhood friend. Curious, Richard asked what friends usually do. Philip thinks from Richie's age perspective. He tells Richie that at his age they just frolicked and had fun together riding the same horse. Richie thinks of doing the same things with Anna and drops his sword, excusing himself. Meanwhile, Anna wonders if she should see Richie. She thought she would try to heal the wound in his heart, but it looked like the wound was even worse because of the accident. Therefore, Anna thinks that if she goes to see Richie, it will trigger his obsession. She is so confused right now and does not know what to do. Her thoughts are disrupted as Richard makes his way towards her and greets her. He announces that he will practice riding at the back of the mountain. He says the way there is not tough at all, as it is not exceedingly high. Anna smiles, asking if she can go with him. Richie's face perks up. Anna is relieved. She was so worried for 4 consecutive days that he would avoid her, but it looked like Richard thought about her too. She smiles, thinking of how cute he is. She knew it was not good to like him that much, but she could not help herself. As they walk, Anna realizes what Richie's true nature is. He is polite, cute, and shy. She thinks it is fine to think such things if she does not like him, just as a girl likes a boy. Philip informs them that he has prepared things for their break. Richie gets on his horse while Anna watches him ride in amazement. She knew Richie had always been outstanding. Even his martial skills are on a superlative level in the Empire. Plus, in the future, he will be the gray, eminent figure who will rule the whole country. Anna enthusiastically claps for Richie, raising him to be so cool, while the others watch in surprise. Richie asks if she wants to try it. Anna remembers how the heroines ride in fantasy novels and excitedly agrees. Seeing her enthusiasm makes Richie's heart flutter. He reaches his hand out, making Anna surprised. She did not know she would be riding with him. Thinking of how Richie might tremble again, Anna decides to ride with Philip. This confuses Richie, as he does not like it. On the other hand, Anna enjoys riding the horse. Richie watched her grumpily. Although it is still hard for him when Supplement touches him like before, earlier he subconsciously reached his hand out to Anna. He tried to grab her hand again, but she retreated immediately. Later, when he finds a knight kissing her hand, his expression turns dark. He wonders why she chose not to let him touch her like the others. Later, Anna thinks of how Richie is a young master and flawless at his riding schools, but because of Whitney, he misunderstands what he is. Moreover, he secretly started a business at the age of 11, to the point of accumulating enough personal wealth to govern the Empire. Her thoughts are disrupted as Whitney enters her room, as she had summoned her earlier. She tells Whitney that she does not have to stay and protect Richie anymore. Whitney is taken aback by the order. Anna smirks, saying that she does not have to be a nanny anymore. However, the order does not sit well with Whitney. She tells Anna that even if she is a young lady, she cannot make that decision on her own. Anna says that she will talk to the Duke and his wife when they return. She says she cannot let someone who wants to control the masters stay beside Richie. Whitney affirms that she is the only one who has been by Sir Richie's side since he was born. Not only does she know about him better than anyone else, but she is also responsible for taking care of him. Anna mocks her words, saying she forced Richie to abide by her will. Whitney exclaims that she has never done anything out of bounds, and this is not a matter that a young lady who had been to the mansion for less than a month could judge. Anna does not drag the matter further, and she tells her to abide by her orders. This frustrates Whitney. Meanwhile, Richie ponders deeply about Anna. He does not like interacting with other people. But if that person is Anna, then he thinks about reconsidering his decision. Richie could not help but replay the earlier scene in his mind continuously. This makes him wonder if Anna is really on his side and whether he can trust her and let her touch her. A little while later, while Anna is taking a walk in the garden, she finds Richie sleeping under a tree. She approaches him, realizing that this is the first time since their first night that she has seen his face still. She is relieved that he seems to have gotten much better. He no longer avoids her, and he smiles even more. Fortunately, her eyes are also blessed this way. On the other hand, Richie was awake and was just pretending to sleep. He is aware Anna likes his face. He thinks that if he stays like this, she will come closer to him. To his surprise, she even touches him. He assures himself that he is fine, even when Anna touches him. He finds himself wanting more, but Anna quickly retracts her hand. He opens his eyes to see how close she is. Embarrassed, Anna quickly retreats and says it was an accident. This makes him realize she is worried about touching him. Until now, many people have been concerned about Richie. They wanted to see his swordsmanship skills, how fast he learned, or whether he was strong enough to be the heir to the House of Leanster. But nobody cared what he was feeling or how he was. It was not until Anna appeared in his life. He smirks as Anna tries to explain her actions. She tries to explain that holding hands and even hugging is common among close friends. Richie suggests they try, causing Anna to blush profusely. She shyly nods, and Richie reaches for her hand. He smiles, remarking that he is lucky Anna is his wife. As Richie and Anna walked together, the maids were astonished, to say the least. In Anna's defense, Richie just will not let go of her hand. At least this is much better than him having seizures. Richie asks when friends hug each other as he wants to try it. Anna explains that friends do not always hug each other. Richie questions more, eager to do whatever he can with his friend. Anna decides to try having a lot of skinship with him since he started trusting her. She hopes it will help Richie interact with others. And so Anna hugs Richie, explaining that when there is something to congratulate on, comfort, or a hug to support your friends. To Anna, that hug was a sign of support for Richie. She hopes he will not be sorrowful anymore and will only walk on the road of flowers from now on. Meanwhile, Whitney watches them in disdain. Richie then leads Anna to the library, showing her the business reports of the Leanster family. He proudly says he is directly managing them. Anna wonders if this is a loyalty test. But seeing Richie's handwriting on them, Anna realizes it is a special document. Another report documents the Leanster family's business career. Richie is planning to add more profitable options. Then he will take that profit as business capital. In the original story, Richie has been secretly running his own business since he was 11 years old. He has already prepared for everything, but he still has not found a way to launder the money. Determined, Anna expresses that she can help with the business that he intends to do. Richie smiles and agrees. Anna suggests they go out, and Richie has a carriage prepared, saying he trusts her and not asking where she is leading. Flustered, Anna lectures him not to trust others as easily as he trusts her. Anna leads him to the bank. She came to find the money under her name. She has her bank account statement checked. Anna is aware she is not a child loved by Marquis Zahard's family, but when she got married, she received a lot of property from them. She hands over all her money to Richie. She assures him that no one will know where their money went and says this is her investment. If she does a successful business with this money, Richie must then pay her back a larger amount. Richie smiles, saying she has always believed that he will succeed. Anna smiles, reminding him that she is by his side. On their way back, they get separated by a large crowd. When Anna found him again, Richie sat on the corner of a street, trembling. Seeing Anna, he quickly hugs her and apologizes. Anna knows psychological trauma is not an easy thing to recover from, and so she cannot rush. Starting with the little things, Anna must be careful for a long time. She has Richie let someone else touch him as she does. Richie promised to try his best. The scene shifts to Richie asking Anna to compliment him. He reveals how the maid dropped her hairpin. He reached out his hand to stop it and picked it up to help. As she caresses his hair, he asks if his reward will be doubled if he does it twice a day. A few days pass, and the maid talks about the young master's changing demeanor, thanks to the young mistress. They find it cute, unlike Whitney. The scene shifts to Anna and Richie greeting Duke Logan Leanster and his wife Isabella, who have returned from their travels. They exchange short greetings, and the two then excuse themselves to rest. Later, Whitney reports the family affairs to the Duchess. She also adds how the young master has begun to do things he had never done before at the instigation of Anna. He has been going out more frequently, due to which his crucial education is being postponed. Furthermore, Whitney adds how the young lady has arbitrarily changed the work of servants. The Duchess acknowledges Whitney's concerns. But to her surprise, the Duchess has her step back into Richie's schooling. Whitney thinks the couple does not seem to care for their child as much as they used to. The Duchess comments that their daughter-in-law has quite a personality. The next morning, Anna and Richie go together for breakfast with the Duke and Duchess. However, Anna notices awkwardness in the air at the breakfast table. She tries to cut the tension with a small remark, but it goes in vain. Later, the Duchess summons Anna for tea. She pours Anna some brewed tea. Anna finds it bitter for her taste. She remains honest with the Duchess as she asks how it tastes. The Duchess quietly has a maid bring fruity-tasting tea for Anna. She then asks Anna to continue like this in the future. She tells Anna not to drink something she does not like, but rather something that makes her happy. She also points out Anna's improved relationship with Richie. She also suggests Anna has authority over servants' job reassignments. Taking it as an opportunity, Anna accepts it. She later talks about it with Richie. The next day, the estate's staff all confronted Anna and complained about their changed duties. Anna points out how they have lacked in adhering to their former duties, but they continue blaming Anna. She is aware it is Whitney's plan to deflect her orders. She even brings the Duchess into the matter. Upon interrogation, Anna reveals that she has interviewed the maids in the past few days. After that, she found some problems with the current work distribution. Those who are experienced get assigned jobs that are completely unrelated to their expertise, and those without experience get assigned jobs that are unsuitable for their abilities. That is why the work efficiency is not right. Whitney interjects, saying that the young lady does not understand the system. But the Duchess shuts her up, affirming that Anna has been recognized as a daughter-in-law by the family. So Whitney cannot just call her young or inexperienced. Anna proposes that more salary be given to those who choose to do the less popular jobs. Many servants did side with Anna, closing the matter. Later, Whitney tries to persuade the Duchess to change her stance, calling Anna a foolish child. This reminds Duchess Isabella of her own struggles when she became a duchess. She was always told that a duchess had to be cold and stoic. Therefore, she lets Whitney manage her servants in the mansion, as well as make her Richie's nanny. But she reminds Whitney that that does not mean she is not dispensable. And if she really loves Richie, then she should not meddle. The Duchess then had her maid investigate what Whitney had been doing so far in the mansion. This news reaches Anna's ears. Anna did think about whether she should tell the teachers about all the things that Whitney needed. But if she were a mother and neglected Richie like that, she could also hurt him. If she can show her love for Richard, even just a little bit, then it can prove that she is just not good at expressing her emotions. To Anna, when adults are responsible, they should repent for themselves. Breakfast time is the only mandatory gathering for the Duke family. Anna has been watching the Duke and Duchess for a few days. She has come to observe that their relationship is not good. They do not even glance at each other, let alone talk. As Richie excuses himself from the table, the Duchess tells him to have an enjoyable day. This gesture was quite unusual for Richie. After he leaves, Anna reveals to the Duchess how Richie likes to take a stroll in the garden after he is done training. And as expected, Anna finds the Duchess in the garden with Richie. As she watches the two awkward interactions through her binoculars, the Duke approaches her. He quietly settles on a nearby bench and looks towards his family. Anna understands and hands him the binoculars. To her surprise, he stalks his wife and son. Anna realizes the whole family is the same. Anna rushes to the Duchess and Richie, joining them for a stroll to eliminate awkwardness between them. Through their time together, the Duchess comes to see how Richie flinches while she tries touching him. The Duchess's maid later reports on the investigation. She reveals how Whitney came to the young master during training and other education time. There is evidence that she even interfered with the clothes and relationships around her. And until Anna's instructions, Whitney increased the time of personal education to 10 hours and even 12. Plus, education was only conducted by Whitney, and during that time, no one was allowed access. Next, the housekeeper reports specific evidence of how Sir Richie reacted helplessly to Whitney's words, and how he is afraid of Whitney. Sometimes people witnessed him flexing and rubbing his arms or shoulders, seeming like he injured himself after personal education class. Hearing all this, Isabella's eyes widened with rage. By night, she has Whitney captured and exiled from the capital. The Duchess asserts that violence is not education, and not killing Whitney is her last mercy. Richie witnessed Whitney being dragged away with his own eyes. As Anna watches the scene with him hand in hand, he does not feel scared anymore. The mysterious men dragged Whitney deep into the forest. There, Whitney finds the Duke with a few captured servants. The Duke emotionlessly looks at Whitney. The scene shifts to the Duke returning to the mansion and meeting his wife. Duchess Isabella remarks that he must have heard about Richie and asks for his opinion. She mentions how everyone could only praise Richie, including the Duke's mother. She liked the way Rish was like a wooden statue. But now they do not know when his face hardened to hide his fear. They did not know when he needed their help, as he could not tell them. She lashes out at the Duke, reminding him how he said like a parrot that Richard was the heir to the duchy. She expresses how they made their child feel alone. She calls Duke Logan heartless, but he just looks at his wife with regret. He wonders how he can be so stupid. After he married his lovely wife, he realized that if they get married according to the arrangement of the adults, their married life must also follow their arrangement. During their married life, the former Duchess remains in control. The Duke's life has always been as easily extinguished as the light of a candle. He was told he was lucky to be the heir to the Leinster family, despite being an illegitimate child. She made him believe the power was in her hands. He had no choice but to live like this. And so, he asked his wife to bear the difficulties, patiently waiting to have enough power. He strived to make this family his own, all so the former Duchess could not threaten him anymore. He wanted to use his strength to protect his and Isabella's child from that person. Soon enough, the Duke's family became a family no one dared look down on. This was enough for Duke Logan. The Duchess, frustrated, expresses that she is used to his carelessness. But she is not fine when it comes to their child. A maid who is eavesdropping on their conversation later reports to Anna. The maid told her how the Duke was quite rude and mannequin-like. However, Anna knows the Duke just does not know how to treat others. If this family could share a little more love with each other, Anna is sure Richie's lie may have been different from the original. Later, the Duchess apologizes to her son for not being a dependable parent. She tells him to let her know if something goes wrong in the future. No matter what, she vows to support and protect him. She tells him to think about what he wants and then choose the way he will do things. Richie gently grabs his mother's hand and says he is fine. He reveals that he already knows what he wants and smiles. Later, the Duchess smiles fondly, glad that Anna is Richie's wife. On the other hand, Richie finds his heart strangely peaceful. He thought the emotions he had been suppressing for so long would come out. But now that does not matter anymore. It is because there is something more important. One day, Anna suddenly came and said she was always by his side. She solved all the problems for him. Richie does not remember anything before Anna appeared in front of him. It is like the chains clinging to his legs have been finally removed. As for what he wants, Richie only wants one person. He has only one thought right now, that is for Anna to be with him forever. He vows to hold her tight in his arms and never let her go. The scene shifts to the Duchess and Anna watching Richie train. The Duchess suggests Anna learn basic swordsmanship as well. Anna excitedly suggests they all train as a family, including the Duke. She mentions how she heard the Duke is a war hero and asks if he is cool. The Duchess thinks of how not only the Duke is cool, but he is also so elegant and agile that it is impossible not to fall in love with him. As soon as Isabella met that gaze, she thought about it for days. She mentions that he does not want to be with her anymore. Anna could tell she missed him so much. Anna later sits with the Duke, trying to convince him to confess his feelings to the Duchess so they can all hang out together. She mentions how lonely the Duchess looked when she mentioned him in front of her. She was not mad at him or hated her. It was as if she had reluctantly closed her heart. Anna pleads with the Duke not to leave the Duchess alone. Anna informs him how the Duchess will practice swordsmanship tonight. She motivates him to go there and confess his love. Anna goes there that night to see them together with her own eyes. The Duke soon arrives and helps his wife wear protective gear. As he helps her, the Duchess is reminded of the time he helped her remove a necklace. The Duchess tries to remind herself that to the Duke, this is just meaningless friendliness. The Duchess suggests he fight with her and help her train. She expected him to leave like he did not care, but to her surprise, the Duke agrees with her request. Anna watches the two engage in a sword fight. The Duchess reveals that she has been contemplating divorcing him, assuring him that she will not pressure him to care for Richie. Coldly, she declares that her child will no longer have to live under the Leonster name and vows to protect Richie with her own power, disassociating herself from him. As they wield their swords, the Duchess suddenly loses her grip and injures her hand. The Duke immediately removes her glove, and they both sit on the floor. Remembering Anna's advice, the Duke confesses that he has never stopped loving Isabella since they first met at their wedding ceremony. He recalls her dress getting stuck as she took off her shoes, the way she concentrated on a book, her gaze at the fresh leaves while humming, and the way she smiled as she embraced their child. These refreshing memories breathe new life into the Duke. Isabella, however, tells him to stop, saying she needs time to think, and then leaves. Anna wonders whether she should try to comfort the Duke. To her surprise, he appears relieved. Meanwhile, the Duchess's heart pounds loudly against her chest. On their first outing, Isabella watches the kids talking. She knew they were making a secret investment plan. Their marriage was arranged to build a road network on the land belonging to House Zahard. Isabella was worried when the adults used children to solve the matter. On the contrary, the two became strong partners with each other. The Duchess could not help but feel a little envious. She also wonders what to do about Logan's confession after years of anger and disappointment. When they reach home, the Duchess collapses. This worries Anna and Richie, but soon the Duke arrives outside and opens the carriage door. Worry was clear on his face. He picks up the Duchess and calls for a doctor. The doctor later reports to the Duke that the Duchess is weak due to accumulated fatigue and stress. If she is not cared for well, it is difficult for her to live long. The Duke remains dumbfounded. He lies beside Isabella, quietly calling her name. Isabella regains consciousness later that night and finds Logan by her side. As they converse, Isabella realizes Logan never called the former Duchess a mother before. Logan reveals that he was an illegitimate child, and the previous Duchess also hated him for calling her mother. To that person, Logan was nothing more than proof of her husband's betrayal that she had to endure. That might be the reason why she could not stand the way their family showed affection for each other. The Duchess remarks that he loves her, but cannot tell her that. As they clear up their misunderstandings, they kiss and embrace each other. They decided to start over. The Duchess suggests starting from the time Logan did not have a mustache on his face. And so, the next morning, Anna is shocked to find the change in Logan. He looks 10 years younger. Adding to her shock, Richie was never surprised. The Duke and Duchess reveal their decision to retire from the capital for the Duchess's health. They ask if they want to come with them, but Anna and Richie refuse, affirming they have many things to do here. The Duke and Duchess respect their decision. The Duke gives his son an overview of business affairs, and they share a heartfelt moment. As the Duke and Duchess prepare to leave, Richie shares a hearty hug with his mother. They bid farewell and leave. Soon, Anna receives a letter from the Zahard family. They remind her that she is a member of their family and should help them out by being in a position of authority in the future. Anna turns angry. All her life, the Zahard family has treated her like an object and sold her away. But as soon as the Duke and his wife left, they immediately contacted Anna and emphasized that they were her family. In the original, the Zahard family deliberately used Anna to control Richie. But now, there is no way Anna can let the Zahard family get in the way. The scene shifts to the maid informing Anna that they have an appointment with Crown Prince Frederick tomorrow. The prince has a close relationship with Richie. According to the original story, Anna knows Frederick is the sole successor of the empire and has been the enemy of Richie since childhood. Later, for mutual benefit, the two cooperated. However, as far as Anna remembers, Richie treated the crown prince wholeheartedly for the sake of mutual benefit. Anna asks Richie what kind of person the prince is. Richie reveals Frederick to be a person who pretends to be friendly. The next day, they meet with the crown prince. Anna greets and introduces herself to Frederick, who appears quite friendly. As they eat together, Frederick reveals how Claire got angry at him for coming back from sword training in dirty clothes. Anna recalls how Claire will become the future crown princess. She confided in Yulia about the fact that she was heartbroken as her mother objected to her learning swordsmanship. Hence, she was jealous of Frederick's training uniform. Anna points out that Claire wants to learn swordsmanship and suggests Frederick give Her Highness a sword training outfit. She even suggests they practice together. When they return to the duchy, a bad feeling strikes Anna and Richie. The maid reveals how the 5 elderly members of the Leinster family have arrived to meet them. A long time ago, when the Leinster family's fortune was in jeopardy, branches of the family invested capital and shared profits. Currently, Leinster's key projects are commerce, transportation, financial resources, military supplies, and minerals. They were also linked to other families because of their influence. This is almost no different from a shareholder union, but since Richie's marriage to Yulia, there has been competition among the elders. Richie is still immature, but he is not a shadow of the Duke and Duchess. He showed talent at an early age, so the attention of the elders was directed to him. However, Anna thinks it is too early for him to face direct confrontation from the elders. Upon talking, the elders suggest they be around to look at housemates, saying they are too young. Though Richie refuses, they continue to be a source of headaches for him and Anna. They continue to try to make changes in the household. One day, Anna invites the elders to tea. The elders talk badly about the Leinster family, calling the Duke and Duchess irresponsible for handing authority over to 2 young children. Their crude remarks make Anna furious. She wants them to know that if, in the future, they still dare talk arbitrarily about her family in front of her, she will accuse them of insulting the duchy. Even later, Anna is pissed at the elders' snarky remarks. But what she hates more is that even Anna in the original used to follow those people and bully Richie. She is determined to find out the real cause of the problem so that she can end everything. She later calls one of the elders into her study, confronting them for sending damaged goods to the Leinster mansion. but Anna lacks the justification to expose the family's ledgers, so she can't openly criticize them for the kickbacks. Instead, she attempts to halt the trade. Her accusations and remarks infuriate the Lord, who is about to strike her when suddenly Richie steps in, shielding her from the blow. Richie collapses from the loss of blood, fainting in the process. Enraged to her core, Anna has the elders leave this instant. Later, as Richie gets bandaged, Anna feels guilty. She thinks she should have been prepared to prevent Richie from running to her. The doctor tells her to relax, but Anna cannot help it. Richie soon regains consciousness and finds Anna by his bedside. Anna also wakes up and fusses over him. Richie smiles and assures her that he is okay. She begins to tear up, worrying Richie. Richie has her come to bed with him. As they talk, Anna thinks of the future ahead. She does not know if things go the wrong way or not, but she absolutely does not want to see Richie get hurt. Richie was informed of how angry Anna was and even ordered the elders not to visit. Plus, she did not leave Richie's side for a single second the whole time he lay in bed. This makes him smile fondly. The scene shifts to the maid reporting to the young masters how the Crown Prince sent a telegram that he would come to visit. They knew it could not be ignored this time. Anna instructs her maid to bring makeup and bandages, then exaggerates Richie's illness, making him appear more unwell. When Frederick arrives, he is shocked by Richie's condition. Anna puts on a convincing act, apologizing to the prince for failing to serve him properly. Furious, Frederick demands to know who would dare allow the successor of the Leinster mansion to end up like this. He vows to report the matter personally to His Majesty the Emperor before storming out. Later, Anna feeds Richie soup in bed. He was content with such peace, making him want to stay in bed more. His remarks upset Anna, and she leaves, not wanting to see him sick. Rumors soon spread about how the elder Generison seriously hurt the little Duke Leinster. The Crown Prince also reports to the Emperor about what he saw. On the other hand, the Duke and Duchess received letters from Anna and Richie. They assured them of their well-being and told them to trust them, as they had a plan. Anna decides not to be angry at Richie anymore. She understands why he said that, considering he is still in the healing phase. She tells them that, causing Richie to hug her gratefully. They then get ready to receive the Emperor's orders. The Emperor said the following: "Recently, due to the not-so-beautiful events in the Duke Leinster family, the atmosphere inside and outside the capital was chaotic. The Emperor says he will convene a meeting of the nobles and officially verify the actual relationship. Since Richie's wound has recovered, the Emperor ordered him and Anna to participate in the meeting of the royals and nobility. The Emperor soon holds a meeting. He says he would like to hear Richie and Anna's opinions, as they clearly seem to be the victims in the situation. Richie reveals how he wants to do his part in the work that his father has entrusted to him. In order to do so, he must be respected as the undisputed heir, regardless of his age. Therefore, Richie suggests making an example of those who would disrespect him. The Emperor reveals that Duke Logan also sent a letter directly to him, stating that Richie has already assumed the role of legitimate heir. The Emperor also hates disrespect towards a young heir. It is because he ascended the throne at an early age. In the eyes of those who value legitimacy and honor, Elder Generison ignored the legitimacy of the top family in the empire. Anna knows the elders must not have known that they would get the Emperor involved. The Emperor states that such an event is not easy to forgive and move on from. Other families raising heirs also agreed. The Emperor orders the Generison family to be expelled from the Leinster family's elder association and all related business rights to be revoked. The elder protests, saying it is going a bit too far. However, the Emperor says he would have been sentenced to death if Richie had lost his life. This shuts the elder up. The elders of the Leinster family thought the new girl was just a pretty and annoying girl, but it seems she is a bigger barrier than they had thought. It seems if Anna is stuck next to the heir, they will not be able to influence the Leinster family ever again. Later that night, Richie ponders why the Crown Prince helped him. Anna says the Crown Prince thinks of him as his friend. This confuses Richie, and he says Anna is his friend. Anna explains that she and the Crown Prince are his friends. Richie says Anna and the Crown Prince are different, causing her to chuckle. Anna says he is special to her too, as they are truly precious friends. Richie agrees. Anna is relieved that Richie has more reliable people around him. It is so that when he faces a crisis later, he will be able to get through it without her. Then Anna can leave Richie without worrying. 3 years have passed by. Anna spars with Claire enthusiastically. At first, Anna started swordsmanship to build up her strength in preparation for living alone after the divorce, but it seems she is more talented than she thought. A lot of things have stabilized in the past 3 years. The administration of the manor has been systematically organized. Anna's business plans with Richie are also proceeding smoothly. In the portraits they directly exchanged with the Duke and Duchess, the expressions of the elder couple have been getting more comfortable and softer. Everything has been sailing smoothly. In the meantime, Anna and Richie have not been highly active socially, but they decided to participate in high society little by little. Her thoughts are disrupted as Frederick and Richie make their way to the girls. Anna smiles as she sees Richie. He has become a man now. During the past 3 years, through practice, Richie now interacts more with others. He still tends to be unsociable at times, but there is a significant difference between causing him suffering and just not wanting to do it. In the past, there was a risk of Richie breaking if someone were to touch him by mistake. But now he gives a stable and firm impression just by staying still. She hopes for Richie to become stronger when he grows up. A few minutes earlier, Richie had been in Frederick's company, offering his congratulations to the Crown Prince on his engagement to Claire. As they conversed, Frederick shared his thoughts with Richie, explaining that the commitment to be together is vastly different from mere closeness. Frederick then asked Richie if he considered Anna a friend. When Richie answered affirmatively, Frederick smiled, calling him naive. Frederick went on to say that Claire is not just his friend anymore. She was once, but now she is his fiancée and the partner he will spend his life with. When Frederick asked Richie what he genuinely thought of Anna, Richie fell into an uneasy silence, his mind going completely blank. Frederick chuckled at his reaction, advising him to take his time to figure it out. Presently, Anna notices Richie spacing out. She suggests they spar together, and Richie agrees. Richie does not counterattack as usual, not wanting to hurt Anna. Therefore, he drops his sword, allowing Anna to win. As Anna reaches out her hand to help him get up, Frederick's question looms over his mind. He smiles, muttering how he can win against her. He does not take her hand, and he helps himself up. Anna realizes he did not take her hand intentionally. The next few days, Anna observes how Richie avoids contact with her. Over the past 3 years, Richie has been practicing socializing with others. Though he still had a tough time with others, Richie still wanted to be in touch with Anna. It seems something happened without her knowing. This makes her feel sad. On the other hand, Richie lies awake. His heart beats louder every time he sees Anna. It felt good to be in touch with Anna, but he could not help but feel intense. It is not that he does not want to touch her, rather he wants to keep touching her, but he is nervous about making mistakes. She blames Frederick for this. He has realized his feelings for Anna are different from what he knew. The next day, Anna confronts Richie and asks why he is avoiding her. Richie's face flushed, as Anna was too close, but he remains silent. Anna turns upset and leaves. Richie tries to talk to her over dinner, but she remains silent and leaves. The staff also notices the odd tension between the two, wondering what is going on. On the other hand, Richie felt like he was sitting on fire. Everywhere he goes, he sees Anna. Anna was even more pissed that Richie kept avoiding her. Richie regrets not telling her that it was a misunderstanding, but every time he tries to speak, his mind goes blank. If he were really an adult, he would not be afraid of such things. He desperately wants to talk to Anna. He wants to meet, laugh, and hold her hands. He wonders if he is crazy for having a crush on her. On the other hand, Anna cannot help but find Richard's anxiety cute. She knew he did not hate her, but she is confused about the reason he avoided her. 3 years have passed since the accident, and Richie has developed a habit of talking in his sleep, often revealing his thoughts and feelings. Whenever Anna wants to know what is on Richie's mind, she pretends to sleep and listens. With a plan in mind, Anna feigns sleep once again. As expected, Richie quietly approaches her, crouching down beside her. He softly apologizes for making her sad, admitting that he does not understand why he behaves this way towards her. He confesses that he wants to be close to her, to touch her, but he knows it is not right. His heart races and his chest heaves with uncertainty, leaving him afraid of making a mistake. Anna, aware that Richie is going through a confusing phase, finds his reasoning endearing. As Richie watches, a rose petal falls onto Anna's lips. He carefully picks it up, feeling a pang of jealousy toward the petal. Leaning closer, he murmurs that he can't help but feel ambitious. Anna, curious about what Richie is doing, is taken aback when he begins to kiss her. With this, the video ends. What is the significance of the story's female lead's impending arrival, and how will it impact Richie and Anna's fate? Will Anna come to realize her feelings for Richie as well, or will she continue with her independent plan? Stay tuned for more updates.